In this video, I'm going to give you some quick tips on improving your video quality. Let's get into it. "2021 is here, and the vaccine is here and it's being slowly rolled out. As tough as 2020 was, we're pretty much going to be doing a lot of the same things in 2021, at least for most of 2021. That means still a lot of video calls. In this video, I'm going to give you two basic tips on improving your video calls. One has to do with video and one has to do with audio. With these two areas, I'm going to give you a basic principle for each of them and give you some suggestions on how to improve these, whether free solutions, kind of a medium budget, or if you wanted to spend a little bit more money. I'm going to give you some suggestions in this video. First, the video tip. Make sure the light in front of you is brighter than the light behind you. One of the biggest mistakes I see people do is have a window behind them. Now, I have a window behind me here, but I have a camera that I can control all the settings. Now, most webcams, you can't control the lighting. What happens is the webcam is trying to expose for the entire picture. Now, if you have a bright light behind you, what the webcam is going to do is try to compensate for that. It sees a very bright light and then it adjusts. So what happens? The result is a silhouette. So the obvious first solution to this is make sure you get yourself in front of the window. Use the natural light. And especially if you have curtains and stuff, that's great for diffusing and softening the light. Now, if you're filming at nighttime or on a call at nighttime, have a lamp in front of you. That'll greatly improve your video quality. Now, make sure to watch out for different lights or lamps behind you or above you. It's the same principle. What your webcams are trying to do is expose for the entire picture. So make sure you get that light brighter in front of you than it is behind you. Now, if you're willing to spend a little bit of money, I would buy a dedicated desk lamp, mainly for video calls. This will greatly improve your video quality. Now, if you already have a lamp, I would definitely use it. Now, if you're willing to spend a little bit of money, anywhere between $20 to all the way up to $100, you could buy one of these portable LED video lights. Now, this one in particular is very high quality. It does different colors, different scenes. I often use it as a background light. So some of my videos, you'll see different colors or how bright it is in the background, just to kind of, give a different look. So these are very versatile. You can bring them with you. This is a rechargeable one. I can also plug in a USB-C cable if I just want to have it, not worry about power. If you want to go really cheap, or you're often on your iPad or iPhone doing video calls, you could buy one of these clip-on lights. They work okay. There's different reasons why I wouldn't use it, but for example, I got this one for about $10, and anything is better than nothing. Now, if you're willing to spend a little bit of money, somewhere between the $100 to $200 range, I would get a dedicated video light. Now, I have this inexpensive, newer 60-watt LED light with a softbox on it. What this allows me to do is soften the light, so it's more of a flattering light. What this also allows me to do is, these video lights have very high output, so I can control the output, but the brighter the light, the less the camera has to compensate. Now, if the camera has to compensate for low light, what that happens is, the result is grainier video. So that's what happens a lot with either cell phones at nighttime or just even having bad lighting in your house. There are a lot of different solutions, especially on Amazon, at different price points, so I'll link a few in the description below. Now, some quick tips of using these lights. If you're in front of a window or even outside, don't have the sunlight directly in your face. This is a very unflattering look, and sometimes your camera doesn't know how to compensate for that. Have something to diffuse it, so whether it be curtains or if you're outside, the shade would even be much better. What happens is, the reason why there's a hard light or a harsh light on you is the closer the light to you is, the softer it is. What it does, it wraps around you. With the case of the sun is so far away, so by the time it gets to you, it's so direct and it's really harsh. So you need something to diffuse that light, to soften it up, so it can just really wrap around you in a nice flattering way. As far as using a dedicated video light is concerned, whether it be this portable one here or this big one right here that I'm using right now, if possible, try to diffuse that light as well. So like if I use this portable one, it's kind of harsh. Now I know if we're on the go or if we're moving around the house, sometimes we don't have control over this. But there's different ways you can do to diffuse a light. In the case of my big video light here, I have a softbox here. So it's going through a number of materials and it's softening the light. Now with this portable light here, and even with this big light here, there's a number of things you can do if you don't have something like a softbox. You can use parchment paper to put it over, and that'll diffuse the light very well. Or if you're near a white wall like I am here, you can bounce the light off the wall. That'll really make the light quality so much better. Now, a quick tip for those who wear glasses. Ideally, you want to get the light source that you have higher up, ideally at a 45-degree angle. What happens is if the light is lower, it reflects off your glasses and shows in the video. So part of the reason why I don't like recommending these is because this is made to go around your webcam, either on your laptop or on your computer. And what happens is when I turn this on, you can kind of see that in the picture now. You see that? Where is it? You can see that circle around there. This is like a ring light effect. That ring light effect is great if you don't have glasses and it's just in your pupils. But if you have glasses, it does this unintended consequence, right? For even with my big light right here, when I turn towards it, you can kind of see it. So I have it off to the right and above me. Now to audio. Remember, 50% of a good video is good audio. If they can't hear you, no one cares of how well your video looks. They need to be able to hear you clearly and loudly. So my tip for you is get the microphone as close to your mouth as possible. The further away you are from the microphone, the further away you'll sound from the person you're talking to or the people you're talking to. The closer you are, the clearer you'll be. You'll be able to be heard very well. It also saves you from having to raise your voice and make it sound like you're yelling. So some of the best options I feel are the earphones or earbuds that come with your phone. Now I know that most phones now these days, most modern phones, like all the iPhones, don't even have these earphones now, but these ones have built-in mics, and so you see how close it is to my mouth. The other thing you have to worry about with these though is making sure that these microphones don't rub up against your clothes. That can cause a lot of distractions in your calls. But if you don't have ones or it didn't come with your phone, these are easy to find on Amazon. A lot of good options out there for very cheap as well. The other option that people would ask is, what about Bluetooth headsets and Bluetooth phones? I would try to stay away from those. Those do work, and if you want to have the flexibility of just moving around, then go ahead and use them. If I were going to choose one though, I would choose the AirPods. The AirPods probably have the best microphone of any earbuds or Bluetooth headsets, out there. The Wise headphones that I recently reviewed, that has a kind of a terrible microphone. It makes you feel like you're very far away. Now I'm using the onboard microphone for my Wise headphones. Now remember, the microphone is just on this ear cup on the right side here, and so we'll see how this sounds. So what happens is the microphone's right here, my mouth is right here, and it's trying to catch a little bit of this sound right here, so it makes it sound like I'm very far away. What the AirPods do is have this kind of beam forming technology to simulate that the microphone is actually closer to my mouth than it is. So if I were to choose between Bluetooth microphones and just regular wired microphones, I would definitely always choose the wired ones. The other option is to get a headset with a boom mic, and a lot of these are gaming headsets. A lot of times you'll find them on Amazon. So that's definitely a good option because those mics are definitely closer to your mouth. So this is the main theme I have, is get that mic close to your mouth. Now, if you're willing to spend a little bit more money on some microphones, somewhere between $50 to $150, then I would suggest getting a USB microphone. Now, these plug in directly into your computer, and it has great sound. So this one is a very popular one. This is an older mic called the Blue Yeti microphone. and they have other versions of this microphone now. This one, the newer versions are about $130 now, 130 to 150. Razer also makes a great USB microphone that's getting a lot of good reviews. I'll link that in the description. So yeah, this is another level of microphone that you can step up to. Now, if you really want to step up your audio game, get an audio interface. Now, the audio interface is a device that plugs right into your computer via USB, and you plug in different microphones into the audio interface, usually XLR microphones. You can also usually attach instruments as well. So if you have an electric guitar or acoustic instruments with a microphone on it, you can just plug that in directly there. This gives you the flexibility to record to 2 microphones or multiple microphones depending on your audio interface at the same time. It also does some sound processing to improve the quality. Some of them have amps built in to improve the output quality of your sound. So an audio interface is a great way to improve your quality of audio. Now I have the Audient Evo 4, which allows me 2 inputs and 2 outputs. Some other popular ones are the Focusrite and the Behringer and the PreSonus ones. Anyway, there's a number of audio interfaces out there. But remember, when you get an audio interface, you need to get microphones separately. So I have the ISK BM800. It's a condenser mic here that's plugged right into my system here. But it allows me to get the microphone closer to me here. So it's just right off, the camera here, but it's less than a foot away from my mouth here. Of course, we don't want to get too close to it because then the levels will be distorted and you're going to start picking up sounds that you don't want to. But this is a good way to improve your sound quality here, especially if you already had microphones and different things that you want to just utilize in your computer setup. An audio interface is a good way to do that. So to recap, make sure the light in front of you is brighter than the light behind you. And for audio, get that microphone closer to your mouth. I hope you enjoyed this video. I'll put links to different products that I would recommend at different price points in the description below. If you found this video helpful and you enjoyed what you see, give it a like and consider subscribing. Until the next one, see ya.